Hey guys, and welcome to another Daily Juicy Bits video. I'm going to go a little bit deep and a little bit technical in today's Juicy Bits, but I hope that you'll bear with me because I'm going to show you a great tool if you're trying to optimize your website for search engines. This is a new tool that I literally just found today, and it's called Siteliner. And I found Siteliner because I use a tool very often called Copyscape, and that is easy to find as well. That's basically Copyscape, as you can see here. And Copyscape is a great tool for copying and pasting a web page to see if it exists somewhere else on the web. And that's because search engines don't want to rank web pages that are simply a copycat of another web page. And so we use Copyscape when writers come back and give us content, or when we're auditing a client's website. Very often people will copy and paste different paragraphs or entire articles from somewhere else on the web. And Copyscape allows us to find that. And an affiliated product from Copyscape is Siteliner, which is what I found today. So Siteliner is free for up to about a 250 page website. Once you get above 250 pages, you're going to have to pay for it. But I went ahead and I typed in our website, which is juicyresults.com. And it did take about 5 minutes to scan. So rather than doing it live, I'm just going to pop over to the results that I got. Siteliner returns an audit of your website, of the entire domain. So as you can see, it basically did the first 250 pages, and I have about 477 pages on the server. And so it did about half of the website. Now, it tells you that the broken links, it tells you that 184 missing titles were found. Now, there's clearly some flaws with the product because I looked into that and none of those pages were missing a title, so that's clearly a mistake. But it tells you some other things. What I found more valuable as I scrolled down were the donut charts. And so it would tell you, kind of the pages that you have, percentage. And here again, just like I started to look at today, Copyscape will start to tell you the duplicate content. And so it's basically telling me about 14% of my website is duplicate content. Now, that concerned me at first, because what I thought that meant was 14% of the pages on my website were a copycat of some other page on the internet. And that's not actually what it is. So I'm going to come back to that in just a moment, because I was able to click here to see duplicate content, and I have that ready, and I'm going to come back. But first, I want to skim over some of the other features that Siteliner offers. The average page size was interesting, as well as load time, but I started to get really excited when I saw the average number of words per page. Now, this is something that I've talked about in other videos with thin content. I believe, from experience, that Google wants to rank a website that an overall percentage, a very high percentage of the pages on the website have a high number of words. 887 is a lot of words as an average per page when you think about how many web pages you may have on your website today that might only be 200 or 300 words. So this Siteliner tells me that we're in the 76th percentile, and that the average for all other sites is 723. And that basically the number of words per page we have is more than 76% of all the sites on the internet. That's a good thing. Now, it also goes into text to HTML ratio, which again, I warned you this was a technical video, but if anybody does SEO, if you're a web developer, then you're going to think this is very fascinating, that this tool is going to give you a quick estimate of the HTML code to the actual content. Now, I'm not going to get off on a tangent, but let's just say that Google still favors websites that have a significant amount of text over graphics and other things that are visual, that are design heavy, and it really appreciates lean, clean code, which means less HTML. So I had never seen a tool before, including all the tools we pay for here at Juicy Results, like SEMrush and Moz and several other, that would give me such a quick scan of that. So duplicate content tells me about 14%, as I mentioned before, of our content is duplicate, and this goes on and on. So I won't go into each one of these, but it was really nice to see this presented this way. So I mentioned to you that I was concerned about 14% of our website being duplicate content. So here's what I found when I clicked on that link. I have a list of all of the pages where duplicate content was found. Now the list can be a little overwhelming because as you see here I have 139 results. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to find the percentage of the page that was duplicate. So when I started to find things like 75%, I was very concerned. But when I clicked on the pages, I basically realized that Copyscape is actually showing you anything on the page that's duplicate. So when you look at this page here, and you know that this is a category index page, well, it makes a lot of sense because an index page is nothing more than an access point to more articles. So there should be almost no fresh content on this page. All it is a collection of other pages. But this is not the same as what Moz presents as a copycat page, meaning that the entire page, 100% of it or 70% of the text is exactly like 70% or 100% of another web page. So this allows you to go a little bit deeper. And I had never really seen a tool that does this before. And so if you know anything about WordPress, WordPress creates all of these topics pages and category pages. And so, of course, everything on the site is going to be a duplicate. But it's not what we're trying to eliminate as with our SEO hat on. But this is really cool. You see the match words, the match percentages, and the number of pages that match it. So what I think you're looking for is the number of percentage, the number of other pages that match it. So this one has 25 other pages that match this article. And when I click on it, I can start to look through and just realize, okay, it's simply the word page one domination, which is a phrase we use here at Juicy Results all the time, is being matched on many other pages. Well, that's just 3 words. So Google's not going to penalize me for that, so I don't need to be concerned about it. So I can discount the majority of this because I understand where it's coming from. These are category pages and index pages. These are not pages that I hope to rank for. You should be concerned if you start to find a page that is optimized for a keyword that starts to show off as a duplicate content page. Now, from what I can understand, this is all internal duplicate content. This isn't, your page is copied from another page. So it's not a replacement for the Copyscape tool, as I started to tell you about, but it is a fascinating tool to get your website in advanced shape for search engine rankings. So this is a really technical topic, and I'm only going in a couple minutes, so I don't expect to have explained everything for you. But if you've gotten past the basics of SEO and you're looking for another tool that's going to make your life easier at finding interesting benchmarks and red flags with your website, then I would recommend Siteliner.